ask you something, and I need you to be honest. Have you ever pulled a geography cure?
The geography cure. You mean packing up and moving to a new city, hoping your problems just, what, get lost in the moving van?
Yes. Or it doesn't even have to be a new city. Maybe it's a new job.
Mm-hmm.
Or ending a relationship. You convince yourself, okay, the problem is out there. It's my boss, it's this apartment, it's the rainy weather.
Right. You change the scenery.
You change the scenery, you get the new view, the fresh start. And I mean, for about 2 weeks, it feels like actual magic.
That's the honeymoon phase of your new life.
But then, and this has happened to me more times than I care to admit, you fast forward 3 months, you're sitting on your new couch in your new city, and that sinking feeling comes back.
Oh, yeah.
The anxiety, the frustration. It's like you packed your own neuroses in your suitcase right next to your socks.
It is a devastating realization. But from the perspective of the research we're looking at today, that exact moment of horror is actually the most important data point you can possibly have.
Oh, so?
Because it proves the fundamental illusion we all live under. Changing your environment doesn't change you.
And that is the hard truth we are digging into today. We're unpacking a really dense, fascinating breakdown from an article by Lunarize that synthesizes the teachings of Dr. Joe Dispenza.
And we should be clear, right? This isn't just think happy thoughts fluff.
Not at all. We are not talking about visualization boards here.
No, we are talking about biology, we're talking about neuroscience.
Mm-hmm.
The mission for this deep dive is to understand why you can't just decide to change your life and the physiological reasons why your own body will fight you tooth and nail if you try.
It all seemed to start with this one quote from Dr. Dispenza that sounds so simple, but the more I read the source material, the more I realized I just didn't get it. He says, "Your personality creates your personal reality."
It's a great line. It's almost like a catchy bumper sticker, but let's actually look at the mechanics of it.
Well, when I hear personality, I think of, traits like I'm an extrovert or I have a good sense of humor. Is that what he means?
Not exactly. It's not talking about your social skills. In this framework, your personality is, it's a functional definition. It's the specific, repeated combination of how you think, how you feel, and how you act.
Think, feel, act.
Exactly. And the logic is brutally simple. If you wake up tomorrow and you think the same thoughts you thought today, feel the same feelings you felt today, and you do the same things,
Then your life can't possibly change.
it is biologically impossible. You cannot create a new personal reality while dragging your old personality behind you.
Okay, but let me play devil's advocate,
Yeah.
because that sounds a little bit like Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Most of us feel like our thoughts and feelings are just reactions to the world, right? I wake up, I see a stressful email, so I feel stressed. I'm not choosing it.
And that's the trap. The source material breaks this down into a feedback loop. And once you see it, you really can't unsee it. So it usually starts with a thought. Let's say you wake up and your very first thought is, I'm so overwhelmed.
Which, to be fair, is the morning anthem for about 90% of us.
I'm sure it is, but look at the biology. You think I'm overwhelmed. That's not just a whisper in your head. Your brain immediately messages your pituitary gland that signals your adrenals, and boom.
A shot of stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline.
Before your feet even hit the floor. Now, because your brain is flooded with those chemicals, you feel anxious. That's the feeling part of the triad.
Okay.
So now, because you feel anxious, you make a choice. Maybe you skip your workout. Maybe you just doom scroll on your phone for 20 minutes to, numb out.
Which is the action.
Correct. And that action leads to an experience. Now you're running late, you're rushing, you snap at your partner. And that experience produces an emotion, guilt, frustration, more stress.
And here's where the loop closes on itself, isn't it?
This is it. Because now you're driving to work, feeling frustrated and overwhelmed, and your brain looks at the state of your body and says, see, I was right, we are overwhelmed. The emotion reinforces the original thought.
So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
It's more than that. It's a completely closed loop. You aren't responding to reality anymore. You are creating a loop of reality that just confirms who you think you are.
So you don't just think the same way.
You effectively become the same person every single day.
This explains why reading a self-help book is, well, usually useless. I can read it, I can agree with it, I can intellectually understand I should be calmer. But if I'm stuck in that biological loop,
then you're trying to use your conscious mind, which is only about 5% of who you are, to fight a subconscious program that's running the other 95%. It's like trying to stop a freight train by standing on the tracks and just, asking it nicely to slow down.
Okay, so let's talk about that freight train, because the most shocking part of this article for me was the section on addiction. And I don't mean addiction to like coffee or sugar.
No, we're talking about emotional addiction.
The source claims that the body can literally become addicted to negative emotions. Now, I have to push back on this a bit. I get being addicted to dopamine stuff that feels good. But you're telling me my body is addicted to guilt or anxiety. Why would evolution design us to crave feeling terrible?
It's a survival mechanism that's gone haywire. To your cells, guilt isn't a moral judgment. It's just a specific chemical signature, a peptide. If you've spent the last 10 years feeling guilty, maybe about being a parent or your career, your cells have actually adapted to that chemical environment.
Adapted how?
They physically change. They literally grow more receptor sites for the chemicals of guilt and fewer receptor sites for the chemicals of, say, joy.
Whoa.
They become desensitized. So just like a drug addict needs a bigger hit to feel normal, your cells start demanding a higher volume of guilt just to maintain their baseline.
That is
Yeah.
terrifying. So my cells are basically shouting at my brain, hey, where's our daily dose of misery? We're starving down here.
That's the supply and demand of the body. And this is why familiar feels safe, even if familiar is painful. To your body, the unknown, like being happy or being calm, that feels dangerous because it's a change in the chemical equilibrium.
This explains so much about self-sabotage. I've noticed this in myself. If I have a day where everything is going great, work is good, my family is happy, I start getting this weird itch. Like I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. And if it doesn't drop on its own, I'll find a way to drop it. I'll pick a fight or find something to worry about.
That's the addiction kicking in. That itch is your body going into withdrawal. You stopped feeding it the stress hormones it expects, so it sends a distress signal up to the brain. It physically pulls your mind back to the past to find a memory that will trigger the old emotion.
It's literally looking for a reason to freak out so it can get its chemical fix.
Precisely. And this is the moment where most people fail. They try to change, they start a meditation practice, and their body just screams, no, this doesn't feel right. I'm agitated. I'm bored. I feel anxious.
And we interpret that feeling as, oh, this isn't working for me, or I guess I'm just an anxious person.
Right. But the truth is that discomfort is the work. That feeling is the body leaving the familiar past. If you aren't feeling that resistance, you probably aren't actually changing.
So if we're fighting a chemical addiction, how do we break this cycle? The source material obviously talks a lot about meditation, but Dr. Joe's take on it seems different. It's not just sit there and clear your mind, is it?
No. And I think this is a huge misconception. A lot of people treat meditation like it's just a break from their life. I'm stressed, so I'll meditate for 20 minutes to calm down, and then I'll go back to my day.
Which sounds nice, but...
But if you get up from that meditation and immediately return to the same emotional reactions, the same identity, you haven't changed anything. You've just paused the program.
Okay.
The source emphasizes that meditation, in this context, is really mental rehearsal.
Rehearsal, like for a play.
Exactly. Like an athlete or an actor, you are teaching the brain and the body what it feels like to be a different person before the external world gives you permission. You aren't just relaxing, you are installing new firmware.
Okay, but this gets tricky. The article talks about this state we need to reach. He calls it no one, nowhere, no time, which honestly sounds a little woo-woo to me. It sounds like dissociation or trying to erase yourself.
I get that. It does sound abstract. But think of it this way. Imagine your brain as a computer. Right now, you have 1,000 windows open. You have the mom window, the employee window, the past trauma window, the credit card debt window.
And the fan is whirring so loud the computer's about to just explode.
Right. You cannot install a new operating system while all those programs are running. Becoming no one, nowhere, no time is just the act of closing all the windows.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
You take your attention off your body, off your environment, off the concept of time. When you do that, you stop reinforcing the old identity. The nervous system finally gets the signal that it's safe to turn off survival mode. It enters what he calls coherence.
And that's the moment where the install can happen.
That's the sweet spot. That's neuroplasticity. The brain isn't busy fighting tigers or paying bills. It's open to suggestion. That's where you rehearse the new self.
But here's the challenge, and this is where the rubber really meets the road for me. We can do the rehearsal. We can close the windows in a dark room at 5 a.m. But then we have to open our eyes and walk into the kitchen.
And face the triggers, the real world.
Yes. There's the mess.
Yeah.
Or there's the traffic. Or there's the coworker who chews too loudly. How do we handle that without the body immediately hijacking us back into the old loop?
This brings us to my favorite concept in this entire deep dive. It's something Dr. Joe calls duration awareness. And I love this because it's so realistic. He doesn't say never get angry. He doesn't say never feel stressed.
Oh, thank God. Because I was about to quit.
He just asks a simple question. How long?
How long?
So let's look at the biology again. If you have a reaction, someone cuts you off in traffic, you get that chemical spike, that's the refractory period. If you don't keep fueling it with thoughts, that chemical reaction naturally dies down in just a few minutes.
Okay.
But if you keep thinking about it, I can't believe he did that, what a jerk, you keep the chemicals pumping. If that refractory period lasts for a few hours, we call it a mood.
As in, I'm in a bad mood today.
Right, and if you keep it going for a few days, we call it a temperament. He's got a short fuse. And what if you keep that refractory period going for years? If you are still reacting to something that happened in 2015?
That becomes a personality trait.
Bingo, she's bitter, he's an angry person. That isn't who you are. It's an emotional reaction you just never stop fueling.
Wow. So a personality trait is just a mood that you let hang around for a decade.
That's the takeaway. So duration awareness is the skill of shortening that lag time. Okay, you got triggered, fine. Can you get back to neutral in an hour? Next time, can you do it in 10 minutes? Eventually, in the moment.
Well, it's not about perfection, it's about recovery speed.
Exactly. And biologically, this is crucial because every minute you spend in that survival mode is a minute your body is literally breaking down. The source is clear on this. Living in stress hormones is living in a state of emergency. It downregulates your genes. It suppresses your immune system.
So self-regulation isn't just about being nice. It's about not letting a traffic jam compromise your immune system for the next 3 hours.
It's a health strategy, plain and simple.
I want to touch on one more tool the source mentions, which is gratitude. But again, it's a specific kind of gratitude. It's not just, writing, I'm thankful for my coffee in a journal.
No, this is the hack for the body. The research shows that the body does not know the difference between a real experience and an emotionally vivid, imagined experience.
I always struggle to believe this one. Really. The body is that easily tricked.
It's not a trick, it's signaling. If you close your eyes and you truly feel the emotion of gratitude, not just thinking the words I'm grateful, but actually feeling the expansion in your chest, the relief, your body releases the exact same neurochemistry as if the event were actually happening.
So if I'm rehearsing a new future, say, getting a promotion, and I feel the gratitude for it now.
Your body believes the promotion has already happened. It begins to change its structure, its chemistry, to match that new reality. You are signaling your genes ahead of the environment.
Which flips the whole script. Usually we say, I'll be happy when I get the promotion.
That is the cause and effect model of the old world, waiting for something outside of you to change how you feel inside. The quantum model, which is what Dispenza teaches, is cause and effect. You change how you feel inside to cause and effect outside.
Okay, I am sold on the theory, but I need a reality check on the timeline. Because I know myself. I'll try this for 3 days, not see a miracle, and then give up. What does the source say about how long this actually takes?
The general estimate is about 60 to 80 days of consistent practice to really rewire the brain and body.
60 to 80 days. That's a commitment.
It is, and we need to be honest about what those days look like. It's not a smooth, upward line of progress.
What happens?
Well, usually around day 3 or 4, you hit what psychologists call the extinction burst.
It's ominous.
It's basically the body's temper tantrum. You've denied it the stress chemicals it's used to for a few days, and it panics. You might feel more anxious, more irritable, maybe even physically sick. Your brain will start screaming arguments at you. This is stupid. You're too busy for this. It's not working.
And that's actually a good sign.
It's the best sign. It means the old self is losing its grip. It's the chaos right before the new order. If you can push through that, if you can just observe that tantrum without giving into it, that's where the liberation happens.
I love that framing. The body is throwing a tantrum. Makes it feel less like I'm failing and more like I'm winning.
Exactly. You are breaking the addiction.
So let's wrap this up with a practical roadmap. If you're listening and you want to start this today, what is the daily protocol?
It's simple, but it is not easy. First, observation. You have to become conscious of your unconscious thoughts. Just catch yourself when you say, I'm so overwhelmed.
Step 1, catch the thoughts.
Step 2, shorten the refractory period. When you react, pull out that mental stopwatch. Don't judge yourself. Just see how fast you can get back to safety.
Okay, step 3.
Morning rehearsal. Don't start your day until you have felt the emotions of the person you want to become, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Prime your biology for the day.
I'm fine.
Evening reflection. It's like watching game tape for an athlete. How did I do today? Where did I lose consciousness? How will I do it better tomorrow?
What I really appreciate about this deep dive is that it takes personal growth out of the realm of magic and puts it squarely into the realm of skill.
That's the goal. It's not magic, it's mechanics.
It's mechanics.
Hmm.
And it puts the responsibility squarely on us, which is, a little annoying, but also incredibly empowering.
It's the ultimate freedom. You aren't a victim of your personality, you're the creator of it.
Before we go, we want to leave you with a specific challenge for the next 24 hours. And it's based on that duration awareness concept.
Yes. Here is the challenge. Something will trigger you today. That is a guarantee. When it happens, I want you to physically look at the time. Note the minute.
And then do whatever you have to do. Breathe, take a walk, anything. To get back to a state where you aren't ruminating, where your heart rate has come down.
And then check the time again. Was it 20 minutes? Was it 2 hours?
And then ask yourself the million-dollar question. Was staying in that emotion worth the biological cost?
Was it worth signaling my genes to break down for that long? Usually the answer is no.
Keep that stopwatch handy, everyone. Thanks for diving in with us.